Here we go, here we go. Hello, everybody. Oh, some frame rate issues there for sure. But I hope at least the sound is coming through alright. Hope you guys can hear me. Here we go, here we go. I'm so excited today to play some Warhammer 40,000 11th edition. Thank you so much for joining here with us. I'm gonna go over the terrain and our units again. This is ongoing on our series Marble versus Gold. We are gonna do today then Custodes versus Custodes once more. It'll be 2,000 points on each side, and I'm gonna go down to show you the list. I'm gonna go over the whole strategy that we're gonna use, what detachments we're gonna use, and everything like that. So I hope you enjoy. I want to thank you all very much for coming to check out our stream. I know we're probably getting very bad frame rate right now from over here. I'll be trying to keep up with all the messages. If you guys want to drop a message, I'll be sure to look out for it. Hopefully you guys can enjoy. But let us then here proceed into showing us what you got, what we're playing here with. Oh yeah, here we go. This is our table we just been finishing off. So on this side we're gonna have the Lions of the Moritoi. This is our group of the Blade Champion plus his faithful Wardens. They will be using spears on this side. We're gonna have here a mighty Galatus. We're gonna have here standing in for our beautiful incoming Telemon. Then a group of 4 guards with spears, 3 different groups of Terminators, 3 with spears, 3 with axes, 1 is captain. Then our group of maybe I think would be better in this case to give you this. Yes, okay, better. So let me go take you around to check out our beautiful Galatus. Yes, indeed. So here we're gonna have Trajan, Valoris, and his 4 guards with shields. Here we have our captain and 2 Virtus Praetors. Let me take you here a bit through our terrain that we've been trying to update it and make it look as cool as we can. Hope you guys enjoy this little tour. This is what a Titan sees when he's hunting you down. So on this side here we have standing in for an Anathema Psychana carrier. Here is standing in for our Caladius Grav tank. Don't forget our cannons, other than the big guns. Here we have proxies for, again, a captain on jet bike and 2 Virtus Praetors. This is standing in for Apollos. Here we're gonna have 10 of our Witch Seekers, with this one standing in for a Knight Centura. Here we have another 10 Witch Seekers. Here we have 10 of the ones with the bolters, Vigilators if I'm not mistaken. Here we have 10 with swords plus the Knight Centura. Here we have 10 with bolters plus Knight Centura. Here we have our 10 with swords alone. The assassin, I forget the name, Caladius or something. and our group of 5 wardens on axis with Blade Champion. So on this side, the Blade Champion and our 10 with flamethrowers, which are these, they will be in deep strike, and our 10 with flamethrowers and the Centura are embarked. On the other side, it will be our usual combo: 4 guards, and the guards and Trajan are in deep strike. Hope you guys enjoy. Let me switch you over to our other camera so we can get this game going. There we have our third camera, giving you a good alternating between our both cameras. I hope you guys are gonna enjoy checking it out in this way. So let me get this game started. Game set up. Again, it's marble versus gold, and it's gonna be the Custodes, and the detachments for Marvel are in fact Lions of the Emperor and Might of the Moritoi, and in fact our force disposition is Purge the Foe. And on over there, the side of gold, we're gonna have as well Custodes. Their detachments are again Lions of the Emperor and Silent Hunters, and I like to call them, they are the Lion Hunters, and on this side is the Lions of the Moritoi. Their force disposition is in fact reconnaissance, if I'm not mistaken. So we get Purge the Foe versus reconnaissance, so that we get the triangulation mission. So triangulation is the Persian reconnaissance one. My primary will be consecrate, and the opponent's primary is then triangulation. Our setup is hammer and anvil. It's much easier to use on my setup. Our terrain layout is in fact the Purge the Foe versus Reconnaissance 1, just in case you guys are curious. We will have no special mission rules, so it is time to roll. We're gonna roll, of course, to know who is the defender. Let's get our dice out here. We're using a lot of dice. There's always one white, one gold. White is marble, and the red and gold is for... So marble is on this side, gold is on this side. Marble wins 4-1. Marble will choose to have then the opponent go as defender. So they will deploy first. Here we go. It's time to get on deploying. So I'm gonna explain a bit how I do it. My strategy start with as weak or as inconsequential units as you can, because you want to give as little information as possible to the enemy, as to allow him to counter as little as possible and save your top units to the end so you can start countering what he has. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. If you're out there, thank you so much. Drop us a message. Hit the follow, hit the like, hit the sub. Come hang out. Right, let's deploy. I'm gonna set down our group of 10 with the bolters. I'm gonna use them to, of course, hold an objective and set them out here and try to move them in immediately as early as possible. Try to, in this situation, get some utility on that objective right away. So it's a pretty fairly benign move that does not tell our opponent much, that they already expect a kind of move like that. So here we have our 2, so we can try to set them back here. On this side we have, of course, purge the foe, and again I'm going to use the same type of strategy, give as little as possible. So I'm going to start with my Terminators with spears. They will often act as a more of a utility unit. In this case, in Purge the Foe, our utility is kill, destroy, maim, annihilate. But yes, we do need to keep control of terrains as well. It's not that simple as it may sound. So we're gonna put them here. Again, start as simple as possible. Don't give them the means to retaliate until you have to. Perfect. Let's go on deploy onto this side. Again, what's our less consequential unit in this case? I believe will be our 10, so it won't be these ones. It's the 10 with the melee we use here to indicate with this kind of captain unit that has a sword on him. So this is 10 with swords. We're gonna place them. Of course, one thing that we always want to do is leave space for your other units. You have to think ahead. Where are you gonna put your other units in the future? And also try to screen at the same time. So this is something that we're gonna try to do in this case while leaving a lot of space. also try to screen off and block as much as we can back here. We'll try to obviously be 9 inches top with all the units, although each two of them have to be within 2 inches of the other two, so we cannot be that far apart, but we can be several apart. So we are over the 9, and we want to keep here space so they can't deep strike back here. That is our main objective. This unit will just be screening out here and be a sort of backup if we have to advance and give some melee if they want to deep strike out here somewhere. We are within the 9 inches, so you can still stretch a bit more. Don't be shy. Get those units out there. They are all within the 9, making sure they're all near to each other, as if you have to remove them, you don't lose any unit. They have to be within 2 inches of 2 other units at all times. This is very much the case. This is a good example of how you're able to deploy them pretty far apart from each other. Maybe I can offer here a little action camera so you guys can see this example. This is how you can deploy them quite far apart, within 9 inches each of them, within 2 inches of another unit. So that's one example of how you can do it. We're trying to screen as much as possible here, this side. Force them if they want to deep strike, if they want to come over, if they want to come and try to attack our home objective or kill us on our home objective, you're gonna have to do some movement, some action. We can still move and create that kind of opportunity here while screening that whole corner back there. That's the play. And of course we can still try and screen the other side. We can still try and screen and keep it covered on all angles. Let's deploy again here on this side. We're gonna put our captain and the Axis unit. I think they'll be pretty good behind this wall. Again, we gotta think about leaving room for our walkers to move through. We gotta give room for our bikes. Although we don't take up too much room on that side because you don't have a lot of units. So now our units slightly become more consequential. We have, here is our 10 with swords with Centura. In this case, I'm gonna deploy the 10 with Centura with the bolters. These are also some important units. I'm gonna place them all back here behind this wall. Of course, we want to do our mission to triangulate as early as possible, and our detachment allows us not only to advance and do action, but also gives us more range of movement, so we can definitely advance quite a lot and get that range of extra movement, extra 2 inches of movement. That makes us quite mobile and quite able to try to push up and try to cause this this kind of blocking, this shielding of our areas, and of course perform objectives as we advance and get ourselves well positioned. We then start performing actions. Next, on our side, we do not have that much to deploy. I believe we'll deploy our bikes, and it's always a very natural deployment with the bikes, as they are probably our fastest movers, to try and put them in range of reaching the enemy's advanced objective. It's always a very natural objective to try and do with them. Try to immediately get onto that objective, try to screen them and possibly immediately start getting shots into them if we can. So this is a very natural position in this case for them. So as they move up 12 in this direction, they will be able to actually be inside the terrain and shoot, which is something that they are known and want to do. Next will be our swords with Centura. Not sure where I'll put them. I believe I will place them more over towards this corner right behind this unit, because I see those bikes there. Those bikes I will want to try, and if I can get this Centura with her swords to be able to block them, I believe they can do quite a lot of damage. So and they also give support here to this unit of these bolters. So these are 10 of our sword sisters with a Knight Centura leading them. I'm actually gonna put them right here. They fit perfectly in this corner, no problem. On the other side, we're also running out. You see, we haven't given the position of our tanks, of our bikes, of our powers, of any of our heaviest units. We haven't given the enemy that position. It is about time that he needs to start thinking about deploying the walkers on this side. So that will make him have to now start giving away the position of these stronger units, and that's when we respond. So that's another objective. It's another good point about having a lot of units in your army. If you can fill up with a lot of units, if you have extra units you want to put on there, you can also start by not giving a lot of information to the enemy of how you're going to play, where you're going to deploy, and take over that advantage in the deployment, which is quite interesting. So our this side, what we will want to do I believe we're going to deploy our warden with the spears. We're not giving them the walkers just yet, so we don't want them to reply just yet, which you probably could try and bait them to deploy, so we could try to respond more effectively, but I don't believe they would fall for it. They could still save it, and that's another thing, that's another good point. So let's say our enemy deploys a heavy unit. Okay, you know where it is, you know what you want to counter, but don't give them away that information, what you're going to counter. Savor that counter, save it. Save that heavy unit that you're going to counter that specific unit with. Now you know where you're going to deploy it, don't deploy it now. Give it a little bit. Deploy it next. Deploy it in the next opportunity. Makes sense, right? We're gonna put this big group over here, as we do kinda we want to save some room again, like I said, but thankfully our walkers don't take up that much room. Not as much as probably their tanks and carriers and things like that. So we have a little bit more space to put things. Let me move this decorative rock that we have here in our blade champion. Let me put him more behind here, in case they want to probably move this one a bit more behind. Although we do want to stay far apart, these can move quite much more, and probably they will want to advance, go straight into the front, while our Terminators can maybe try to do something else, stay a bit further back, wait for somewhere to strike, give them room. Alright, let's go deploy. On the other hand, we still have a lot of deployment here to do. We're gonna go. So all our sisters are deployed. Now we have some interesting information over there, like where is their blade champion. That's an information that we want. They will be hidden behind that terrain, but we kind of want to scare them and prevent them from advancing. I'm gonna place him right here. The reason being, on this corner, I'm gonna put him more over here to this corner because we might want to place some other unit. But our assassin there, he will want to be screening their characters. As soon as they're out in the open, it can go in, touch that objective. So let me see. So 3 inches. He can advance on that objective, remain heavy, do his heavy, and try to do his kill shot, which he's known to do. While, as you can see, he got perfect covering. Although he's not hidden because he's not on the terrain, he does have covering, so he cannot be shot very easily. Let's go on to the other side, and now they have to deploy one of their walkers. And on the other side, we give them barely any information of what they want to do with it. But this walker is well known for wanting to destroy sisters and their centurions in one activation. This we're gonna place him right here, as he is still mostly protected, covered by this angle. So he's going to be moved up as much as possible, even towing into this terrain. So we get this terrain completely obfuscating him. They would have to come to this angle to actually get a line into the model, which is what we want. While he can still walk up right through that yellow, walk right through that yellow, doesn't have to climb it. It's not over 2 inches. You can just literally walk straight through that yellow line, not this green, but through this yellow. He can do his normal movement in advance, in any kind of movement that he wants. And we know that he does good so on this side, I'm gonna set up. So let's keep giving again as little as information as possible. We have here a pretty cool corner for our Palas. This case, a Pala stand-in, but I think he does fit in there quite well. So let's put him down over there. On this side, this is the last unit. So this is where we start influencing. This unit sees that Pala's there. Is the first thing that he might want to take out. That might be coming into range. He might want to. So we do want to stay. So in this case, we did cover up a lot of our terrain here. We're not very well hidden. We have a big shooting lane right through there. But a shooting lane is also a good charging lane, a good moving up lane. And of course, our walkers have the capability, if we want, to move through terrain. Something that we will be able to do using a stratagem. It's a something possibility that we might use. So, see, we kind of did not have a lot of visibility. We did not have a lot of space to hide him, to prevent him from getting shot immediately. But we do have here a perfect little corner. Happy little corner right here. They have to come substantially close. Try and get their shots in over to this corner. I think that's a good choice. We're still going to be able to do some proper movement while still be properly behind a piece of terrain. That's what we want. Now we're going to deploy everything over there. And now we do have a nice little sweet spot here to put our tank. He's got that spot was saved up right for him. Okay, let's move this turret out of the way. I don't want the turret to be over the terrain. Its footprint with the turret is actually pretty good to the base, so we're actually gonna use the turret like that, because the actual Caladius tank is pretty much this dimension. The base is an oval of this dimension with the turret going forward, so that's a good thing to remember, to keep it as it is. Our bikes, we see a lot of activity up there right in the middle. We don't want him shot at. We do have some room right here. We're actually gonna place them. They're a bit outside. But we can just simply do like this. No big deal. Let me move this decorative rock. This, make sure it's in the right place. This has room to have these two basins here touching this terrain perfectly. Flying units, they're allowed to have bits sticking out, not the base, but bits like wings and things like that can be sticking out of the terrain. That is something you can do. You can actually move these a bit forward, not much. They can be, let me see, without their beaks being over that line. We don't want to be cheating. We just be cheating ourselves. And of course, our captain can easily go here and position as them. He's just on top of this little barricade. They're a bit exposed, but we haven't seen a lot of their enemies over there. They have to move quite a bit, and we know that they don't have a lot of heavy stuff here. Our carrier that has our flamers and centura. This carrier, he's gonna be actually, let me see, I don't want it, well, we might want to attract some shots in fact. We might want them to try and come shoot us, so why not? Forgot something very important. Which is our tokens over here. So we need one of these red tokens, and we're gonna need another red token. I will put that red token later, but I do love to put this red token to remind me I have the one shot. It's kind of fun to have a missile over here. So we have our one shot missile. Look, it looks pretty good in the camera too. You can see there. That's our token for the missile, one shot. Perfect. Time to, without further ado, roll to see who goes first. Who gets the first play. Again, marble here, gold there. That's our deep strike. That's our deep strike that's embarked. This is deep strike. Marble gets a 2 and gold gets a 1. Marble gets to play first. Marble wants to kill enemies on objectives, wants to control objectives. So as we kill enemies, Marble gets to then consecrate objectives. So as a unit kills another unit, they get to consecrate an objective that they're touching. So here is something that we can do. We want to start by taking out a unit right away and consecrate right away if we can, and as early as possible. Let's get our stats here, make sure we don't miss anything. Let me pull up our, we don't need this one. This is Lion Hunters. Over here we have Lions of the Moritoi. We are looking for our Telemon. So Telemon moves 8. In this case, he gets to move 10, as he does have, we do have the Might of the Moritoi enhancement. So 10 inches, he's going to be able to cross over here and end up right here. So that's his 10, and he does have quite some nice visibility, although they will be in cover. He does get immediately some visibility to start putting away some targets, although he might want to do something else. Let me see. So with these 10, so these 10 will not be enough to get us. He's so close. She could have thought it just a tiny bit better. But with this 10, we could almost be up to touching this terrain and be able to shoot through it and immediately consecrate that terrain. That will not be enough. But what will be enough is actually to move 10 over here. They'll be touching that terrain. So we have a bit more options to open fire, although I don't think we're able to get, let me see. I need to open the document to actually be able to see these pictures. It's just too much. Follow link. So exactly, our Arachnis storm cannons, they have 12. They have 24 inch. So that means for them to get their rapid fire 6, they would need to be shooting at something within 12. So they get their extra 6 attacks. Maybe we won't be using that right away. Also, they're not on an objective, but they also wouldn't be hidden. But they have the possibility of being hidden. But we don't have to use it right away. Let me open this door, see if I can get some more fresh air coming through. Not getting a lot of circulation of air at this moment. Here we go, hopefully. This will give us a bit more circulation of air. This will give us a bit more fresh air coming through here. Yeah, it wouldn't be in range to do his big attack, and he's exposing quite a bit over there, but that's just the way it is. That's just we're still gonna be able to open fire, and it's not a group that actually has Centura, so we still might be able to do a lot of damage if lucky. Let's put him back. This cute little proxy. Yes, over here we actually are able to move $12, and we can be touching up till here, so try not to break our captain just yet. So we can tow in here. This one can tow like this, also touching, maybe a bit back, not as far ahead as that, more like this, but still touching. This one over here, perfectly in terrain. We do have visibility. We are within range to be able to shoot perfectly and try to cause damage right away while staying 6 inches away. As we're not a vehicle, so we do want that +1 to hit, +1 to wound. First I had to drop all my tokens, thankfully not my dice, but all my tokens. Definitely don't want to be stepping on them. Just quickly pick all this up. We have some tokens for some battle shocks. We have tokens for our infantry that hasn't shot, that's within the terrain, for them to get that hidden. We don't want those to be hidden. Another good reason to advance is to try to shield your units that are far back, trying to stay hidden. Let's move them more to this side, so we can avoid. I think that's all of them, don't see anything else. Let's get this movement done. Alright, stop wasting time. course, this is well thought out, so we can try to advance onto that piece of terrain. But we are going to advance because we are able to advance and shoot with basically all our infantry. And I want them out of here, out this way, and they'll get some good line of sight and hopefully a line of shooting if we are within range. 2, they'll only advance 8. Yep, exactly. So we were here, we moved there. What's our range over here? So they're not on an objective. We're actually gonna have visibility to shoot them, which is kind of what we wanted to be able to do. I just like to move on the same formation, makes it easier. Now we're gonna adjust here to make sure we do retain 6 inches. Let me see, do we retain 6 inches here from this side? Yes. Maybe if I just tap them a little bit, making sure that they're over 6 inches. So they're not on the terrain, so they get shot right through there. There's visibility. We're actually gonna just slightly pull back, make sure we are in the 6 inches. So just touching over here will allow us to do that. We're also over 6 inches from here. We are very nicely 6 inches from there. Let's move these a bit back. Make sure we don't move too much. Over here again, we do get +2 to move. We might, but I'm forgetting something. Who goes first? Marvel. We both gain 1 CP. 2 missions. I should have checked this first. Beacon outside your deployment zone, or beacon outside our territory. Right now, we're neither, but I'm gonna put my beacon. We are outside of the deployment zone. We have to wait until the end of the enemy's turn to turn this one in. I think we'll have to be our bikes. I think we will have to choose our bikes for our beacon. And a tempting target, I think, as our opponent would have been able to see our bike over here, they would pick that to be the tempting target, which I think will be much easier to defend. Anyway, I think because they can see our bikes, they see those bikes move really fast. That territory is not that far away from him, but over there they would know, you can't get there with any of those. So that's our tempting, and that's our beacon, tempting and beacon. Let's go. Moving on, we're swiftly ahead. We're gonna have so the Talmon's gonna be able to reroll hits and wounds of 1. So they're not on an objective, so sadly they don't have hidden. So they'll be able to get shot at even though it's not gonna be able to use their stratagem. Just want to make sure our Contemptor is gonna be able to move 6 plus get 1 to advance if we want. Six, 7, 8. So he moves 8. We might be able to make him walk through the terrain. Although I don't think it's the right time to spend so he just has to so it would be like this angle. Would move 3, then he gets plus 5. Let me see again. Just gotta make sure I do this right, because I want to keep part of his model hidden by the terrain if possible. So if he moves 2 in this direction, ends here, so he gets another 6 to the front of his base, so he gets, let me see, so 5 like this, and then 1 like this, and I'm gonna try to see if I get it, if he's hidden, but I don't think he will be in any case. It doesn't matter. That's perfectly fine. This unit here is going to actually move back. And we're going to try and do a little bit of screening. It's always healthy, always something healthy to do. As long as we're within 2 inches there, 2 inches there, that's fine. Just a bit of screening, not giving them a lot of space to drop any units over here. So we gotta be a bit more controlled, keep our big unit back. And that's it for our movement. I mean, it's been long enough, for sure. Does our opponent want to do anything in the end of this movement phase? They actually are able, if they wanted, to do some kind of overwatch. Let me go through their units once again. Lion Hunters, use the app. Much easier to see. Wait, I completely forgot something. Oh, come on, work. Knight Centurions have Scout 6. How does the Scout work? Does it need to be everyone in the squad to have Scout for them to use? Or can if just the leader has, everyone has? Core abilities. If every mono in that unit has the ability. Attached units. Keywords. An attached unit has all the keywords of all of its component units. Abilities. Abilities rules that affect a single model only ever apply to that model. Otherwise, abilities rules that affect a unit or models apply. Source abilities. Leader support. Applies to the attached unit until the last model of that leader support unit is destroyed. Source of the ability rule, leader support. Class model that in that leader support unit is destroyed. So do they have keyword scout? No. Let me try and figure this out. So yeah, I guess they do have Scout 6. I think it makes sense that if you're leading a unit, it doesn't say that Scouts only affect that specific, so it's not a war gear. Okay, let's assume they all have Scout 6. Makes sense. So no scouting. Perfect. No problem at all. Makes sense. We don't need no stinking scouts. They don't have scouts, the rest of the unit. None of them, do they? So not Centura. Prosecutors don't. Vigilators don't. Witch Seekers do. Witch Seekers do have scouts. And Witch Seekers... Very interesting. I forgot about that. I might start to have to take both Witch Seekers units with Centura instead, because it makes sense. So Witch Seekers do have, they are embarked. Ability in attached. Attacking attached, farming attached. So let's go to the core abilities. Let me go to Scout. This ability always takes the form Scout X, the Scout 6 in this case. In the Resolve pre-battle ability step, every model of the unit has this ability. You can do one of the following. If your unit is in strategic research, set up the unit anywhere wholly within your deployment zone. If that unit is wholly within your deployment zone, you can make a scout move. The unit is embarked on a dedicated transport is wholly within your deployment zone. And every model embarked in that dedicated transport has the scout, then that dedicated transport can make a scout move. The Scout X, the X in Scouts X, if eligible. So this is a dedicated transport. So this dedicated transport is able to make a 6-inch move in the pre-move. So yes, that transport will move 6. Not sure if I think it might have changed a bit, but I did want to use it as a distract effect. I was hoping it wouldn't die. So it is gonna move here, it is touching them. I'm sure they can't disembark. I don't want to deploy them. But yes, that unit that has all of these have scout, they can. Brilliant. That's what I needed. We're gonna go then to the shooting phase. So he does have visibility. He does have 24 range. They're not within 12, so he can't use, but he definitely has visibility to shoot them. Here we go. 24 shots, hitting on 2s. Make sure I get this right. Yeah, they don't get anything. They're not hitting either. So 24 shots, hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s. Jesus, that was a lot of 6s. although they're worth nothing. He has devastating wounds, but nothing for lethals at this time. So they all hit. That's 24 hits with re-rolling. Now that's strength 6, wounding on 3s, re-rolling 1s, devastating wounds. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 devastating. Re-rolling these ones, and I can right away remove these 2s. These failed. These are devastating. These need to save. These need to re-roll. Removing the 2s. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 on AP minus 1. So those are prosecutors. They have a save 3. So they're going to be saving on 4s. So devastating wounds are not mortal wounds. So they need 4s to save. Saved, 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 saved. Nope. 12. They just got completely obliterated. Didn't even need to activate. Didn't even need to activate his CP. His attack. That is a skill that gives let me put him over to this side so he doesn't get confused. Unit complete and ready for our next deployment, sir. So that means that that tank completely obscures, and they're not, those guys are not going to be able to shoot at those sisters, because that tank just sitting there looking pretty and obscuring them. That's a good scout move right there. And that was a unit completely obliterated. And that means this objective is now blood consecrated. So this unit is not going to have any visibility towards over there, but those guys have, so they're going to shoot. No, so that is covering the palace as was intended. So they are on an objective. If they don't shoot, they'll be hidden. Yeah, let's not shoot and see what happens. I do want to try to avoid that assassin. So that is, actually never mind, 17. That means if he moves 3, will be 14. So yeah, doesn't matter. Still gets to shoot. So let's see where we can plink off some damage, even though we advance. They do have assault. Anything else we can shoot at? We really want to plink off damage from the carrier. I mean, why not? Nothing else. Well, I guess let's try to stay hidden. No point shooting. Let me just see. He has 10 wounds, toughness 9. Man, if we could somehow destroy it. They're hitting on 2s. He's 2 hit. He's hit, let's see, 2s, yeah, 2s. Strength 4, toughness 9. Yeah, that's where we hit the snag, isn't it? would be 4s, 5s, 6s, it's 5s. Wounding on 5s, as they don't have any unit next to them. They get +1 to wound. So only one. Now they don't re-roll. 7 on 3s. They don't save. They take 2 damage. It goes down to 8 wounds. I mean, what else? Over here we have only one target. They are within 17, so that's fine. Can give it a try, I think. Contemptor. No, ignores cover torrent, twin linked. Our Galactus is only 12-inch range, so no dice. None doing. Yeah, it is what it is. They had to get it in there. They get to get on there. And so that leaves our 3 bike. They're gonna shoot salvo launchers, which they had Virtus Hurricane bolters. So hitting onto trail 1 makes sense that it hits the building. Strength 10, wounding on 2s. AP -3. So they're saving on 6s. So those are vigilators with swords. Saving on 6s. No saves. Yeah, that's D6 +1. So that's 2 of them get completely misted. So these 2 can go straight to heck. Charge phase. We can try to charge. Of course. We are eligible. So these guys 24 inches, they could actually shoot if they wanted. These guys no. They're gonna try and stay hidden. Over here, re-rolling. We definitely need 11. we would need 11. Close. 7. No. Over here we need less than that for sure. I do think we measured to the spears. So fuck it. You measure to the spears. It has frame. It has frame. Not me. I didn't say it had frame. They said it had frame. They say it has frame. We need a 10. If we get a 10, we get 11. We get 11. Even to the base. That would be enough. Or not. It would be to the frame, even to the hull, even if not. Let me see. So is it to the hull of the ship? Or is it to any part of the model? I'll check later, but I think with the 11, even to the hull, if not to the spear, they just got charged. So we're not gonna all fit. But I'm gonna try my best to get at least these two base to base. And this one, you can't fit under there. You know what? Fair enough. He was here. Let me see. If he lands up here, is he within 2 inches? No. You know what? Fair enough. Doesn't have room. He doesn't attack. He's back here. He's now within 2 inches. He does get another 3 inches move to pile in. But at least, I mean, to be fair, I'm gonna put the captain and then one of the guards, one of the Virtus Praetors, is just not gonna be able to get into combat range. I mean, makes sense that he doesn't fit. He's well over 2 inches, so it makes sense. But I do put the captain there first. So we're gonna go to the fight phase. The captain gets 6 attacks, and they're gonna have different profiles because he has, first of all, so he has Money Morty, so that gives him strength, extra 3 strength. So that's gonna be, first of all, gonna be hitting on 2s, winning on 2s, killing everything. Wow. So yeah. The Custodes rule is you always get lethal hits or How do I forget the name? Because I rarely use it, but I'm gonna use it this time. So of course my 6s in this case are gonna be sustained. So that's gonna give me an extra attack. For each 6. So these 2 fail, but 3 come back. So I end up with 7 attacks that went through, hitting on 2s. Let me see the rules of the Vigilators. Oh, they give -1 to hit. So yeah, so they would be, no, but they still get +1, so they would be normally hitting on 2s. They give -1, but I still get +1 to hit because there's no one around, so I counter that. So I still hit on 2s and I still get sustained. So those ones fail, these get sustained. So that's 7 attacks. So that's strength 10 against their toughness 3. So that would be on 2s, wounding on 2s. Even I get its lance, they get +1 to wound. And from being isolated, they get +1 to wound. Jeez, it's on 2s. They all wound. Now it's AP -3, damage 3. So they're saving on 6s. Oh, 1 6. One 6, and that's 6 of them dead. Just the captain alone. Just the captain killed 6. Then the other Virtus Praetor, he's gonna have 5 attacks. Again with sustained. Hitting on 2s. They do give -1 to wound, but he gets that +1 to wound again from being isolated and from charging. So that's 2 sustains. And the other ones all hit. So 2 more go in. So that goes to 7. Strength 7 is still wounding on 2s. One goes out. Saving. So this time on 5s because he doesn't have the enhancement. So saving on 5s and damage 2. Oh, 3 saves. So that's 3 of them die. 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 die. There's one single one left. There's one poor girl left. One poor girl left. all alone, seeing all her sisters fall. Oh no, they already had lost 2 from the bombs, so they all died. Better that way. Yeah, that charge was insane. This game is gonna go fast. So, of course, they killed a unit. And they... Where's my consecrate tokens? It is blood sanctified, blood consecrated and sanctified. So, these guys haven't shot. This guy hasn't shot. These guys did plank off. Those guys are not infantry. He doesn't get to charge. They failed the charge. No charge. And this turn is done. There was a lot done in one turn. That was the great turn for Marvel. Let's see. Our beacon is here, alive and well, healthy as a bull. They just obliterated a unit and consecrated. We did not get the tempting target just yet. My beacon is outside of territory, but I guess I have to wait. The beacon has to be in the end of the enemy's turn, isn't it? sound check. Yes, finally. Yeah, probably lost some. How long does it be? 2 hours 17? That's fine. $200 plays. You think people liked my reel? I think my reel gotten some traction. It is pretty good. Yeah, that's a pretty sweet reel if I do say so myself. Let's take a small break before we go blow this thing up. $300 views on TikTok? Oh, that sucks. Got a few views, but it was open for more. Let's go to YouTube. Oh wow, 1700, 8 likes. Okay, this is already my most. This is what I call content. Nearly 1700 views and 8 likes, 111 subs. Yeah, it's still going up. 40% viewed. That's something. Might as well check Instagram. No, 5 likes. How many views does it say? Yeah, that was funny. Let's get back to the game. It's time to play the game. Time to play the game. It's time to play the game, and how you play it, hard to control it, you can say it. Had a few views, had a few. Some people enjoy, that's all that matters. Where were we? Ah yes, the ultimate destruction of the enemy. Or at least take the friends of the emperor. These 12 inches are gonna get me much like before. Touching here. Touching here. And I can't even consecrate yet. So that'll be that. Touching there. So you're gonna all be able to shoot at him. The palace. We're definitely gonna want to get out of here. We're gonna want to be screening over here, so you're gonna move, actually move it back. So we can do. Not within 6 inches, but I can be. These can move. So if anything wants to come in, you're gonna have to be also 8 inches from the assassin. That's it. These guys definitely, let me see, no, they can't see through here. They're not going to be able to shoot. But you know, tough thing. I think that's it over here. So we got to go to the shooting. Now it's time to have some fun. I think overwatching on those 6s, even with I think it's no point. So let's fire our one off. Does it look like he's leaning back? Well, he kinda is leaning back. Doesn't matter. Wasting time. Let's shoot. Oh, where is it? it. Come on. Nathma Saikana. One shot. Hitting on twos. He's obscured. Hitting on threes. Whew, that was scary. It did hit. Strength 14. The Telemon is toughness 10. That means it would be 4s, it's 3s. Wounding on 3s. It does wound. AP minus 3. So it's the invulnerable save of force. He doesn't save. So he eats d6 damage. Now this is worthy. You have 2 CPs. Reroll. 6 damage! Now we're talking. That's why we use the CP. That's why we use the CP. Perfect, perfect. Telemon goes down to 6 wounds. And that one shot completely made a big difference. And it is completely obscured. You know what? I'm gonna burn it. If I can burn it, I win this game. I don't care what happens next. Which Secret Flamer ignores cover and it's Torrent. It's only strength 4, so it's only gonna be wounding on 6s. Let me see, the Knight Centura Flamer is the same, D6401. G6401. So that's actually 11 D6s. With ignores Torrent, so no point giving it blast. You know what? I'm gonna fire at them. That's much better. 11 D6s. Oof. No, that's bad. That's terrible. That's bad. That's bad. So that's 10. 10. Only 29. Only 29, that's nothing. So that's 12. That's 22. 26, 27, 28, 29. 29 wounds. Strength 4, toughness 6. Would be 4, it's 5. And I'm gonna pay 1 to give it blood. So that's another 11. hitting on 5s, wounding on 5s. Not great, not terrible, but not a lot. AP 0. So that's saving on 2. How many ones? No. No way. There's no way. One. They take 1 damage. They save everything. They take the 1 damage. That didn't go as expected at all. So he goes down to 2 wounds. This can come out. He used. So that shot, they shot, did nothing. They're gonna shoot. No CP. Don't have any CP left. But at least I'm gonna say they ignore cover, I think. I used the command reroll, and no, there's no other way. So the grav tank Twin Arachna's blaze cannon. So he's not obscured at all. No, I don't consider that No, because that angle can see everything. From that angle, from any point, you can see the whole entire model. So I'm gonna split fire. The last room, both cannons are gonna go into them, and the heavy blaze cannon is gonna go into them. So that's 4 shots hitting on 2s. They all hit. Strength 12. Toughness 10. Wounding. Oh, subtract 1 from the damage characteristics. So this went down to 5. So hitting on 2s, he gets lethals. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. That's gonna be it for today. Since no one is coming anyway. Bye for now.